What is happening, guys? Welcome back to another Halloween horror. I still don't know what to call this. Anyways, welcome back to another October review. I am super excited to get into this figure because this figure I actually really was excited for when it first dropped on the Neca's Instagram page. And it is the creature from the Black Lagoon, of course, by Neca. And it's such a cool figure because, like, I love the creature from the Black Lagoon. It's one of my favorite monsters. It's not my top favorite, but it is one of my favorites. And one of my, like, childhood memories is playing with this little guy. I still have him after all these years. He is missing a couple limbs because, you know, over time, he just started dying on me. But I remember this thing. This thing was so cool. I used to put him in the dirt. He used to have a hand, and I would, like, you know, I would take it out of the dirt slowly and, you know, just kind of drag it on, just like he does in the movie. I always loved that scene. It was such a cool little thing. So, you know, seeing this guy in a newer, updated look for Neca and, you know, having more posability to it, and it just looks fire. It was a bit of a nostalgic thing for me. And of course, you know, my brother, he loves this thing. I think it's one of his favorite monsters. That's just what I assume. It was always kind of between the Wolfman and creature for him, but Wolfman's my favorite. He can't have that. This is his. So, but it is a cool figure. It just reminds me so much of my brother, which is, you know, I love my brother. But anyways, I have the figure right here. So far, we're going to just do what we usually do. Take a look at the box, take a look at the figure. And if you've noticed, look at this. It's not 5 in the morning. It's daytime. It's daytime outside. It's not 5 in the morning. I can actually probably speak properly this time. But anyways, let's get right into this and let's have fun. So, here is the packaging. The packaging is probably the best part about the figure. This is probably the most unique and probably the best packaging I've seen with these NECA Universal Monsters figures because it just looks so cool. I love the green and kind of bluish color to it. It's just such a nice look at it. It's so cool. I love the coloring of it. It makes me, like, really not want to get rid of the packaging. But, you know, I usually don't keep the packaging, but I will, of course, keep the, you know, the front cover, because that's what I usually do. But here is the packaging, the creature from the Black Lagoon. It's got some pretty dope imagery. It's basically just the poster. It looks so cool. You can see that we got our Gill Man right there, holding our female main character with some characters in the background. I think that's really cool. On the side, you can see that there's a creature there that's of the figure. And on the other side, you get another image of the creature. On the bottom, you can get creature from the Black Lagoon. That's actually the top, not the bottom. And of course, at the bottom, we usually don't get much, but it is nice to show every once in a while, because maybe there's something a little special down there, who knows. But you can see nice images of the actual creature, and of course, they are open covers, so you can see the image of a creature and the actual figure inside. Of course, the figure's not really inside, so we're going to take this packaging, throw that over here, and let's grab the figure out. Now, usually I don't decapitate the actual figure. I usually keep, like, a head and a pair of hands on him, but I just wanted to show the amount of just limbs he's got. He's got a bunch of different types of body parts. It's actually really good. It's mostly just a lot of hands, not a lot of body parts, but it's got 3 heads, so many different types of hands. So we're going to get through all the hands. We're going to take a little bit of a glimpse at the actual heads, but we'll really get into it once we actually see it on the figure. We get 3 different heads here. All of them are sculpted pretty nicely and painted pretty nicely too. We got 3 different expressions, which we'll look at the actual figure. But yeah, we do get 3 different types of heads, which I think is really cool. And one of them is pretty dope than the others, but we'll get into that in a second. We get a variety of different type of poses. He's got more of the, sorry, the sun's in the way. That's why I usually film at night, because you know, I usually don't get the glare of the sun. I'm going to try to fix that. That should be a little bit better. So first of all, we get these kind of open hands, but this is what I would usually use if he was, like, you know, he's grabbing the sand and he's, like, pulling it towards him. I think that would be the kind of hand that he would use here. but he's got a pair of those. He's got more open hands, which I guess you can use for like grabbing someone's face like he usually does, but they're very nicely sculpted and very nicely painted too. I know it's kind of hard to see with the the light, but if we do a little bit of clicking, we can see that he's got some pretty nice looking hands. They're sculpted beautifully. The paint job is absolutely gorgeous. I love the way those look. We can see as well some open palm hand. Well, not open palm, but they're very unique looking hands, and I really like the way these look. These are like probably my preferred hands just because of how unique they are. I just love the way that looks. It looks like he's trying to grab somebody or something. But you can probably use this for somebody's face, just try to slide their head inside the palm and go for it. But I think that just looks so cool. I love the way that looks. And of course, he's got his last set of hands, which are very spread looking hands, which I guess he can probably use for swimming. But that's pretty much all the accessories he's got. When this figure was pretty much first announced, there was an image of a harpoon gun, and which I thought was going to be added to the actual figure, and the kind of, I guess, mummified looking creature hand that's on like a little stand. I thought we were going to get those accessories. I don't know if those are actually part of this or they're just going to be separate things, but I really did think that they were going to come in this, and I was kind of let down that we didn't actually get that, even though the creature can't really interact with the harpoon gun or his actual, like, archaeologist find hand. I don't know what you would call that. I really don't know what you would call that. My mind is going blank still. See, even in the mornings, my mind goes blank. But, you get that hand, and then you get the harpoon gun, and of course he can't really do anything with that. It's still really nice to have, and I wish they would have, brought that with us, with this figure, but it doesn't happen. It kind of sucks that we don't have it, because, when you get your little monster display, it's nice to have those little things that you have seen in the movie just kind of in the background in places. That's usually how I have my stuff. I have like the Invisible Man's little cups in the background, same with like the wine glasses I came with Dracula, just these little things that I think are really cool to add, and I wish Creature came with that, so I am kind of disappointed in that. That's probably my only gripe with this figure. Well, I do have a couple more gripes with this figure, but that's more getting into the head sculpts, and yeah, that's pretty much the only nitpick I have with accessories. Otherwise, the accessories are great. I love the array of hands and the 3 different heads. I think that's really cool, but let's get the actual figure out here and let's take a look at him. So here we have the Creature himself, and he does look really cool. All the way around, the detailing is absolutely amazing. The paint job is gorgeous. I love that kind of that kind of gold shine to him. If there's like some kind of hint of a brown or more of a bronze, and it just shines off of him, off of his scales and stuff, and I just think that looks beautiful. It's so cool. It looks so, it looks like an actual fish and stuff. I love the way this guy is painted. The sculpting work is absolutely beautiful as well. I love the fins in the back. I love how that works. The fins on the actual arm is really cool, and the hands are really nicely done. I love the head too. I do have a little bit of a problem with it. We're gonna bring, a little bit of a character that I was gonna leave for size comparisons, but you can kind of see that with both of these figures, somebody's head is a little bit larger than the other, and I prefer the sideshow Creature's head. I don't know what it is, but this head just looks a little off to me. I don't know if it does for you guys, but it does look very, just off. I don't know. I think it's the eyes. I think the eyes look a little funny for the NECA version compared to Sideshow, but I don't know. There's just something that's off with this one, and there is also something off with this one, but I just think that this one is a little bit more accurate than this one. But I do think it is the eyes, and maybe the head is a little bit too, narrowed up. It should have been trimmed down a bit. But that's probably another complaint that I have, that the head just looks a little funny, and that's on all three head sculpts. I think it looks better with the open mouth, but you know, that's my only gripe, which I do hate griping about this figure because it's a beautiful looking figure. There is something else that I do have to gripe about, but first I want to take a look at this kind of neutral head sculpt, and it does look very nice. I love the way it looks. I love the kind of wrinkles in the face. I love the lips, the kind of reddish lips, which a lot of creatures don't exactly have. Like we just saw with the Sideshow one, he doesn't have that kind of red lips kind of look. But I don't know if that's actually accurate to the real suit, but it is on the poster, so I guess that's fine with me. I don't really care about the lips. It's just the eyes that look a little funny. The side view actually looks really good. It's just dead on. It just looks funny to me. I don't know what it is, but that side view, that looks actually really dope. And no, I think that's his best view. But front on, it just looks funny to me. But you can see that the scaling is super, super nice. I love the way it looks. The feet are done very nicely. I love the way the feet look. I love the spikes in the back of the, you know, the foot. I think that's really nice, and it is mainly all rubber. He is very rubbery. He's got some hard plastic pieces here, but mostly he feels rubbery, which is kind of cool because it, you know, kind of reminds you of a suit. Another gripe that I have with this figure, besides the accessories and the dead-on view of him, is the actual connector to the actual peg. Because once you take this off, the actual neck piece comes along with it, and that's not supposed to happen. It's supposed to stay inside and you know, not come with the actual head. So you pretty much do have to take it out, and hopefully that's not your copy. Hopefully that is just mine. But usually if I want to take it back out, I just kind of grab it from this little fin here, and it's a pretty nice sturdy fin. That's like hard plastic, so it's not all rubbery. But usually I just try my best to just pull this thing out, and usually when it's off camera, it works like a charm, and apparently it doesn't like me when it's on camera. But usually that's what I have to do all the time. That's pretty hard. There we go. So now that the peg is out, you can put this back inside of his neck, and it's the little peg that goes into his neck and the big peg stays up, and that's pretty much what it's supposed to look like. So I might do a little bit of the super glue trick, but I am usually always scared to do that, especially with these kind of figures. But of course that was the neutral face. We get the open mouth face, which is really cool, and my preferred look, because I just think it looks better. Even front on, I think that looks a bit better. Side views, of course, just look beautiful, and I do like the detailing as well. I think it's really nice. But yeah, this is probably my favorite head sculpt. But another head sculpt that I really do appreciate them having is this one. And it does look like the neutral face, but you can see something's a little off with the bottom lip. And that's because you can take your finger and you can open and close the mouth if you want. How absolutely dope is that? I think that that is beautifully done. I think it does look a little funny, just because of how wide it's open. But if you kind of match that expression a little bit, yeah, that's just so cool. I do like the seamless look a bit better, but that just looks so cool, and I'm so glad we actually got that. It really does make up for the kind of lack of accessories. I think that this little feature is beautiful, and it's so cool, especially if you kind of wanted to do stop motion. You can kind of just have them slowly breathing and stuff. I think that that is a beautiful looking head sculpt, and it is really cool. And I think we're just going to pop that on the figure and go through the entire review with it on, and it looks really nice. There is that kind of seam line that you do see, and it does look off, but usually you can kind of just, you know, graze past that if you're really not paying attention. But yeah, that is basically the accessories, and that's what I think about them. I think it's a beautiful looking sculpt for him. Now going back to comparisons between these two, it's very, very night and day. Like, one of them is, you know, one of them's a little bit more stiff, one of them has more posability, but mainly the colors are the thing that kind of draws you towards these characters. I do prefer the darker, more dark green colors of the newest figure. Um, and it's a lot more accurate too. This one also does have that kind of gold shimmer to him, but I think that NECA executed it more on this figure, and I think it just looks better. The belly is not supposed to be this kind of color. It is supposed to be a more dark green color, but it does look very nice. You can see that there is a lot of differences between the two, especially in the back too. You can see that the kind of, I guess, fins in the back do look very different. And of course their ankles are not as spiky. You can kind of see that NECA's little ankles down here have more spike to them and more like kind of sharp nails, and this one has not as much, but you can definitely see some big differences between them. I do think that the overall build is a little bit better with the Sideshow one, but I think just overall NECA takes the cake on this. I think NECA did a beautiful job on him, but this thing is just so nostalgic, so it's really hard to really, say which one did better. It's just kind of up to you which one actually works. And what else is actually kind of cool is that if you actually have a display base from Sideshow, you can just put it on. He does have pegs at the bottom of his feet, so if you kind of just clamp that in, I think that works beautifully. I think that's so cool. And I do have an extra display base, so I probably might use that for him in the collection. I think that just looks so cool. It's so good. I love the way this figure looks, and he stands pretty much really well on his own, and I do like the figure itself. But going towards more posability, of course we talked about the hinge joint at the mouth with this head sculpt. He can look up that far and down pretty much that far. Got some side to side. It is a double ball joint because he's got the one up here and the one at the neck, so he does get a lot more range of motion with all of that. He does have some arm that can move out about that far. You can do a nice rotation. He's got a little bit of swivel, of course, and some swivel at the end of the, I guess you would call that the bicep. And he's got some at the elbow too. He's got a little bit of swivel there. He does have a single bend at the elbow, which is not bad, but I do like how it kind of, is a little bit seamless because the scales kind of just, nicely go along like that. And it does kind of look like a double ball joint. It's just not like the, the usual that we usually see. He does have some swivel at the hand, and of course a hinge joint as well. He's got a swivel on the chest area, which is pretty nice, and it can go up and down, and a swivel at the waist area, which can give him very nice crunch, and he does have some forward and back about like that. And of course the side to side does have a nice decent spread. He can kick about that far and a back that far. He's got a nice double jointed leg, which is very nice. I like when they do that. He's got swivel at the foot. The foot can go up and down on a hinge joint. And of course he's got that pivot, so he's got a pretty decent amount of posability. A little bit of a size comparison, you can see that the Sideshow one, even though he does have a pretty big noggin, the Sideshow one does have a little bit of height on him, I believe, and it's pretty nice. I do like the size of him, but I think the Sideshow one is a bit taller. Frankenstein is surprisingly a little bit shorter than the creature, which is usually not what we see. Usually we see that Frankenstein's got the height on everybody, but the creature definitely out-heights him, and that might be accurate, and I do think that is accurate, so I think that's pretty nice. And just because here is a Freddy Fazbear as well. Posability on this figure is absolutely beautiful. The figure itself is just all the way beautiful. Forgot to add the box there, but it is a very nice looking figure. I absolutely love the way this figure looks. I think that this is definitely worth it, even though he does have a couple things that I wish was, a little bit different or wish they added. I think that this is just a beautiful looking figure, and I hope you guys do pick this guy up if you are a creature fan, because this is definitely a very nice upgrade compared to the Sideshow one if you guys had that first. This is definitely a great upgrade, and I am very excited to have this in the actual collection, and it's just so nice to see. And yeah, that is pretty much it with this figure. So I hope you guys did enjoy. We have one more video, then the October month of horror characters is over. And it's kind of sad because I have been working my ass off to get these videos up on time. Getting up almost all day, just trying to get up at like 5 in the morning, work, then you know, upload the video. I've been grinding the whole time, and I cannot wait to keep continuing it, because I do want to keep doing this because it is fun. I really love reviewing these figures, and I hope you guys enjoy watching them. But next week, not next week, it's like in a couple days, we're taking a look at a figure that I absolutely love, and I did hint at him at one of the videos, and I'm just super excited for him. So that is going to be it for this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I will see you guys in the last October review.